Street food.
Expedition Huangshan.
Welcome to Street Food, and thanks for joining us on our expedition to Huangshan. We've made 3 stops along the way so far, and today we ascend the mountain. Like I mentioned last week, our hotel arranged a shuttle for us from Tunxi to Tangkou. When you get there, you gotta take one of the registered shuttle buses up to the proper base of the mountain. This part was a little tricky. There weren't much in the way of directions in English, but eventually we found our way to the place where you buy the ticket for the shuttle. There's 2 points from which you can start your ascent of the mountain. There's Yungu Pavilion and Siguan Pavilion. We chose to ascend from Yungu.
Attention, bad weather probably makes you ending.
Both of these places have cable cars if you're into that, but you know what I'm saying, we came to hike. We looked at those cable cars, we said, no thank you. Then we got really tired.
It's a lot of steps. My hands are shaking because I'm out of breath. Apologize for the shaky nature of this filming. I just can't catch my breath. Heart's beating, you know, like pouring sweat. We got Nate up there, younger than me, better shape than me, wearing flip-flops.
Pretty sure he's listening to Eye of a Tiger by this point.
Planning our hike without ever having been there was really challenging for a number of reasons. First of all, these were the maps that I had to work with. It made it really hard to determine exactly where we were in relation to anything else. They communicate distance, but they don't usually communicate elevation. Plus, the maps are outdated, and they have regular trail closures for things like maintenance and whatnot. On top of all this is the weather. The cloud cover, which is very unpredictable, can sometimes provide the most amazing mountainscape views that you've ever seen in your life. And at other times, it just looks like a wall of fog in front of your face. There can be like a beautiful set of peaks right over there. You can't see it. It's just all a white blanket. It's just like you're hiking through Stephen King's Mist. You don't know, a monster gonna come out and get you. You just got 2 bullets left. You know what I'm saying? It's just unpredictable, so you never know what you're gonna get. We did our best, we made a plan, and we went for it. Here's how it went. Yungu Pavilion up to the first base, which is White Goose Pavilion. From there, we went to the Black Tiger Pine, the Heart Pine, Beginning to Believe Peak, and then back to the Shilin Hotel. Shilin means lion forest. It's kind of awesome. There are a lot of hotels and guest houses on Huangshan because it's a really big place, but we had read about a dorm facility that only costs 150 kwai per night per person. That's about $25 per person. It's a 6-person room. It's by far the cheapest you can get on Huangshan. We got our room, we walked in, we were immediately greeted by a butt-naked roommate fresh out the shower, dropped off our packs, time to go, kept on hiking. Cloud Dispelling Pavilion to the bottom of Shihai Canyon. We had some great views along the way. I also learned that Nate has kind of a problem with heights, not so much heights as it is steps.
I gotta say I'm a little worried about Nate right now. He's been kind of tripping out about the heights. It's Nate and a 5-year-old girl.
I mean, I wasn't sure if he was gonna make it, especially when it started raining.
Yeah, we'll see if we make it to the bottom alive.
We got stuck in the rain, got soaking wet, and there was a trail closure, so unless we wanted to re-hike everything we had just done, we had to wait for the cable car to go. The problem is the cable car doesn't go in the rain, so we had to wait for the rain to stop. So we got stranded for about an hour. Once it started running again, we took the car up to Tianhai Pavilion, caught some sweet views, then on to Starwing Peak, Bright Top, Rock Watchman Pavilion, White Goose Guest House, and Dawn Pavilion. Nate set up to do some time-lapse photography at Dawn Pavilion, pretty sweet. Then after that, we thought we might still be able to catch the sunset, so we grabbed our stuff and we ran from Dawn Pavilion to Purple Cloud Pavilion. We missed the sunset due to weather, so we walked back down to Cloud Dispelling Pavilion, then to our hotel. All told, we hiked over 13 miles, which is a lot of up and down for irregular hikers. We didn't feel it that much the first day, but the second day was a different story. Obviously, when we got back, we were so exhausted. We ate a meal that is, to this day, one of the best meals I've ever eaten in my life. It's like that thing where you don't know if the food's actually good, but you are so hungry, your body is so starved of nutrients that you think you're eating gold. We had 3 dishes with rice, yushan qiezi, and the one I'm going to teach you to make today, tudou se. Bonus recipe. Tudou se is a standby for us when we go to Chinese restaurants. Tudou means potato, se means strips or really thin slices. There are a ton of variations on how to make it and spice it. Today I'm just going to show you the basics. You wash and peel your potatoes, then you want to get them into strips. You want a grater that's got like a good sized hash brown shred on it, otherwise it's not going to work. So you grate the potatoes. If you stir fry them directly after that, they're going to be too stiff. So you want to steam them, but seriously for just like a minute, half a minute even. You should drain the water, try to get them as dry as possible after that, but you know, you don't want to crush them, so be careful. You chop up pepper, a leek, and some garlic. You could also use red pepper or ginger. Like I said, there's a lot of variations. Heat some oil, stir fry your garlic and onion and pepper together for a minute or two, and then you add your strips of potato. You season with some salt and pepper if you want, and some vinegar. The way you know if it's good is if the potatoes are the right consistency. They should be tender, but not like slimy, mushy. Mine was just okay. I think I cooked them a bit too long, but it's an easy thing to try and experiment with. When we get these at a restaurant, if there's leftover, we always take it home and then we make it with eggs for breakfast in the morning. Awesome. Nate and I, and the naked guy, who is not naked anymore, collapsed in our dorm, planning to wake up for the sunrise the next morning. Did we see the sunrise, or were we thwarted by the clouds? Find out next week on Street Food. Plus, I'll be interviewing Nate so you can get some of his perspective on the trip. Join us on Friday for that. Let me know if you try this recipe, and as always, keep eating it on the street, watching out for the parasites. Street food. The apples were how much?
10 yuan each.
Uh-huh.
This was 15 yuan.
Mm-hmm.
These were 8 yuan each.
8 apiece.
So I just spent 51 yuan
For 2 apples.
for 2 apples, a Snickers, and water, which is required to survive. So
Nice.
they better be good.